going to be taking a look at a movie where it shows that you always don't have to be on the front lines in order to be in the fight. And this young lieutenant learns that the hard way in Hart's War.
Where to, sir? Savvy. I'm afraid you're going the wrong way, sir. Sangbi is due west.
Pretty sure Sangbi is due east.
Sergeant. I drove this route yesterday, Sergeant.
Get your hands up!
Guck, was in der Kiste drin ist!
Zugenagelt, könnte Wein oder Champagner sein.
It wasn't uncommon for German soldiers to speak English like that. So it actually was a little realistic. The only thing that wasn't realistic was the hail of gunfire that went after the Jeep, and it's open, there's no armor on it, and he survived the gunfire. But
Are you in great pain?
First Lieutenant Thomas Hart. Serial number 184 1287.
Would you care for a cigarette?
Your train is an 8-kilometer march from here. Of course, with some shoes on, you might be all right.
First Lieutenant Thomas Hart. Serial number 184 1287.
Thank you, Lieutenant. But we both know there is much more to you than that.
Show me locations of the fuel dumps. Just point, and we can end all this.
now, as your normal average soldier, we don't train much at all on this. The only thing that we're told is if we're ever captured, the only thing that we can provide is rank, name, and social security number, not to give in any other information. It's easier said than done. By some of these scenes, psychological warfare, you're cold, you want shoes, you want food, so this for that. They reacted pretty fast. In fact, getting out and spelling POW with everyone you had there, it was an amazing feat, because I can't even get soldiers to stand in a straight line in a formation. But this leader took charge and made it happen, and probably saved thousands of lives. They were still captured, but they were still alive.
But Lincoln Scott was shot down, and he was sent to a Stalag. And once here, he wasn't just thrown in amongst white enlisted men. He was quartered with them. Men like Staff Sergeant Vic Bedford. Bedford, the real Bedford, was a man unknown to us. Hateful, vengeful, with a bigotry that ran bone deep. A man who simply couldn't stomach the thought of sharing a roof with colored officers. So he badgered Scott, baited him, even refused to respect Scott's rank. Then, conspired to kill the only friend Scott had in this camp. That's why Scott followed Bedford out on the night in question, crept up behind him, and snapped his neck. Members of the board, we take no pleasure in prosecuting Lieutenant Scott. But a capital charge requires that we put aside our passions and sympathies, wedding ourselves solely to the truth. It is this. Lieutenant Scott was positively and unimpeachably identified at the scene of the crime. He had motive, he had opportunity, and he had an animus for the victim which was confirmed even by his own testimony. Lincoln Scott is an officer. He is a soldier. But he is also a murderer.
So like I was saying, you're never out of the fight. So even as a POW in this camp, they came up with this fake trial to buy time. And that lieutenant didn't understand at first. So he had to go through with the trial. Now, it's too bad they had to lose an innocent person, African-American flyer. But it was for the good of what needed to happen. It's sad to say. So it worked. It bought a lot of time for the colonel and his crew to make it to that ammunition plant. And that lieutenant finally found out about it and finally realized what this whole plan was all about. And it clicked.
So, your men are saboteurs as well?
No, Colonel. They're just soldiers. They were following my orders. I assume complete responsibility.
That's very noble of you. Seems you won our duel after all, Colonel.
No. We both lose. Don't we?
Yeah. And now you wish to trade your life for theirs.
Yes, I do.
So the mission was a success. The ammunition plant blows up, and there's the colonel standing right at the gates to come back for his men. He didn't have to come back. He could have just kept on going. But being the leader he was, he had to come back for his men. And he knew he was going to get killed. I mean, you had to know. And I like how he said, we both lose. So it was a good scene and shows what kind of leadership needs to happen. Well, thank you for watching another episode. I know Hart's War is an older movie, so maybe you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's a star-studded cast. So take a look, make some comments for me, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.